Okay, so we're back recording another Champions. This time we're going to be going against Vulture. So this is by Ripper 3, one of the scenarios nominated for CAS. And because we're playing against custom one for CAS, we've gone for some official heroes. So we've got Miles and we've got Gwen Stacy. So if we'll go for the spider theme. Miles is in Justice and Gwen is in Protection. So we've put, so the big thing with Vulture is that he's not able to be attacked during the player phase unless the attacker or attack has the aerial trait or the attack has ranged. To start off with, we're starting with these attachments. When any amount of damage would be dealt to Vulture, discard area advantage, get to place a hedging counter on the main scheme, which are these little guys. It also specifies standard 3, so there may be some interaction with standard 3, or not quite sure. Okay, and then it also says to put a wingsuit upgrade into play under each player's control. So now we have an interrupt that says when you put an ally on a bank card, exhaust wingsuit. That card gains aerial trait until the end of the phase. Basically, this is use our allies and events as if they're aerial, so we can actually attack Vulture. Change it to clickable counters. See if that worked. It did. Don't know what the error is, so we'll never find it. We'll find out what that is. It might be these actually, but not these. We'll see. Okay, so I think we're gonna have Miles go first. Oh, why is it doing that? Okay. Let me just check if I change colour. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we're gonna have Miles go first. So before we do that, let's flip this over. Comes with 4 threat. Okay, let's put a counter on here, and then we'll begin. So we'll draw 6 here. Do you have a good amount of threat to move? We also want to get like a butterfly out, that'd be nice. We don't need infiltration, I don't think. Clear the area and infiltration. I took the hold off threat removal, we just don't need that much. Have both the endurances out. Okay, we'll see how that one goes. And then we'll draw 6. Okay, so we've got a web base down, that's a good start. Let's see if we can get some doubles in here. So take what? Yeah. Okay, we've got a double and we got the other web bracelet, so that's a good start on Ghost Spider's turn. So let's start with Miles. I'm gonna flip up. How does this work? Doesn't it start with any pigeon counters? Okay, so when you would remove any amount of threat from this scheme, remove 3 pigeon counters from here instead. So there isn't any pigeon counters right now, so that's not a problem. When you would discard a random card from your hand, you may place 2 pigeon counters here instead. Okay. So we're going to spend 1, 2 to do for Justice. To remove all the threat from here. We are not aerial, so we can't attack him, so we're just going to have to sit there, I think. My question is, I think we just get endurance out. Let's just do that. 1, 2, 3. So we're just gonna have to sit here now. Okay. That's Miles done. We can shuffle ticket to the multiverse in. We don't have it in the discard pile. Already George Stacy. We don't have it. So we're just gonna flip up. I'm gonna spend 2 for web bracelet. And we're gonna spend 2 for web bracelet. That should get us online. We can't do anything here. Not yet, Miles, first player. Okay, so that's both of them done. So we're going to draw 4 here. And we're going to draw 4 more here. Okay, so we have some defense events, which is what we want. Okay, so we're going to put 1, 2 on here. He's going to attack Miles. I think we're going to defend with Spider-Gwen. And we're going to use... No, we'll hold off. It's not going to do any damage, so that's fine. Then he's going to attack here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to spend 1, 2 to do Powerful Punch, which is going to draw us 2 cards from the resource. We can attack in the runes phase, so we just knock one of these off, which puts a pigeon counter on the main scheme. We did perform an interrupt, so we get to draw a card. We also get to ready. And then he's actually attacking us. Okay, we're going to defend. We're just going to defend. 2, 3. So we're taking no damage. But after he uses basic power, going to use not today to do preemptive strike, which is just going to deal a damage back because it's going to cancel this, which is actually just going to get rid of this. Okay, it draws us a card. Because we defended, we can then ghost kick. I think that's right. For 6. Okay. Get cards. Discard 1 card at random from each player's hand. Okay, she just uses that card. Do I want to... go for a random crisis averted, so it was an energy and a mental, so we have to place 2 throughout the main scheme. Okay. Draw near after your turn begins. Discard top card of your deck, place 1 pursuit counter on pursuit by fast for each printed resource icon on that card. Okay, then it's Gwen's turn. We'll discard top card of the deck, it's just 1. And then we are going to flip down ready to do something with it next turn. We're going to put Throwaway on Gwen, and then we're going to thwart for 2, and then that's us done. I'm going to go with Crisis Averted. The threat isn't getting that high. We've only got 2 pigeons, so we don't need to worry about the force interrupt. Okay, so we're going to draw 4 more here. Maybe we've got over, I could put 5, we've got acrobatics, which I don't think we're ever going to be able to play against Vulture. Oh no, unless we're using the wingsuit. Okay. And then draw 6 here and ready. We'll take it to the multiverse, which will be nice. We can get some of our bits down. So there's a lot of setup cards here, which is a bit of a shame, but 1, 2. He's skimming over here for 1 plus 2 and discard a card at random from your hand. Okay, not great, but it could be worse. So 1, 2. Then he's attacking over here. I think we're just going to take it for 4. Outside, that should be there. I just realised that doesn't have a can. The can goes on there. Okay. So cat card and cat card. Peril. Okay, so Spidey can't help. So a scenario card you could draw. Which could be that. Discard 3 cards from your hand, take 5 damage. Ouch. I'm going to exhaust the wingsuit. We haven't got any events that are going to help us with it, so. Okay, this has Surge. Sinister Strike. Place a counter here. And he's going to attack us. We'll just defend. Second for 2, 3, 4. So we take 2 damage. Okay. Miles is turn first. We do have the ability to do for justice, so I think we do. It's going to be 4 threat from a scheme. We're going to do it from the main. We haven't got many allies in either decks, so they're not going to be doing a huge amount to us with that. I think we are going to flip down with Miles, so which means we can shuffle a Spider-Man card in, which I think we've only got the 1. Oh no, we've got Door Life as well. Okay. And it's Gwen's turn. Gwen is going to spend 2 to get out for like water. I'm going to spend 1. I'd rather have to counter card cancel. Get out this, and then we're going to shuffle Ticket to the Multiverse back into the deck. We're then going to flip up. I messed up there. Actually, we'll have discarded this on Miles' turn to get rid of drawing there. Yeah. We can't attack because we're not aerial, so we can just thwart, I guess. Let's just remove 1 from here, so we're ready to get rid of it with a clearly aerial or something if we need to. Okay, then we're ready. We'll draw 5 here. We're ready and draw 6 here. Okay, so we've got Genki, which is great to get an alter ego. We've got our sense of justice, which again is really great for us. So, okay, we've got a few good setup cards here. So 1, 2. Let's go into a scheme here. I don't really care about that. And can't really do anything about it. 1, 2, 3. Going to attack here. We are going to use Powerful Punch to deal 4 damage to him, which will trigger a web bracer. And we're going to defend for 3 and use Tickets in the Multiverse to play Ghost Kick. Yeah. She's going to be our main damage dealer. Because Miles isn't going to be able to do much damage, I don't think. Okay, then encounter cards. Quick Strike, don't need to care about that. Discard a card of random from the engaged player's hand. Okay, when defeated. Discard one card of random from each player's hand. I am going to do it from here. I'm actually going to do the Pigeon Guard thing, I think. Yeah, I'm going to place 2 Pigeon Guards. Because Miles has got a very good hand, so. And that means we place 1 threat because only 1 counter was discarded. 1 token was discarded. Didn't have enough to do Pirouette and Bunch or Foot. Oh no, we did. Let's take that back. And remove 2 of the counters. And just Pirouette and Punch that instead. Which will do damage equal to 1 more than the number of boost cards. So 3 damage. I haven't actually played a defense event. She gets to ready, because I think I forgot to do that earlier. And we don't have to do that. I think I've forgotten like both of these maybe, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not going to do anything with them. Okay, so it's Gwen's turn first. She's just going to thwart for 1, I guess. Okay, I'm going to play Yankee. And draw a card. We're going to hold on to Web Shot, I think. We're going to use Web Shooter. We're going to do 3 counters. Do we heal here? Or do we forward? I think I'm going to heal. 1, 2, 3, 4. He only goes up to 9. No, he doesn't. He goes up to a lot more. Goes up to 12. Then we're going to flip up. I'm going to use Web Shooter. We could web shot here. I think it's probably worthwhile web shotting. So I'm going to deal 4 damage to an enemy. Pay for this card using an energy resource, resolve its Spider Blast ability. So we're going to exhaust this, so it gains aerial. Actually. We've been discarding that, but I think that's fine. Or it's 4 damage to him and stun this guy so he doesn't discard as a card. I'm going to actually rather Vulture attack because that's how we do most of our damage. So yeah, we're going to do the 4 damage. Going to knock him out here. And we'll go look for Feather Daggers. And he's going to have 30 hit points. And then we did pay for it with an energy resource. So we get to do his Venom Blast ability. I mean, we could do it just to Vulture again here, but I don't think we want to. I know, it does the 2 damage first, doesn't it? Yeah, so actually it doesn't stun that enemy. Okay, we're just going to do 2 damage and stun him. Okay, so that's Miles' turnover, so that's both of them done. So we're going to ready up and draw 5 here. Draw 4 more here. Okay, so he's going to go 1, 2. He's stunned. And then he's attacking Miles. I'm going to have Ghost Spider defend with... Never back down, I think. We're not that worried about threat, I don't think. So that's 5 defense against 4. Okay, so we take no damage. So we stun them. We remove a threat. We draw a card from web bracelets. And we deal damage for doing a defense event. Then we've got the hero response. After Vulture attacks you, discard feather daggers and he activates against you, so we're going to discard it. But he's stunned, so it doesn't really matter. Then this guy's attacking. I'm going to use 1, 2. Do Powerful Punch, which will knock these out, but we have to discard a card at random from Miles's. It's a bit of a shame, but that does let us draw a card. Into not today. And then some counter cards. Dogfight. Into 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Reduce the damage each aerial character takes from each attack by 2, unless the attacker or attack has the aerial trait, or the attack has ranged. Okay. Attach character against the aerial trait. Discard a card from your hand and place 2 pigeon counters on the main scheme to discard this. Okay. Which means I can now attack normally with it. Which is pretty great. Exhaust Genki, draw a card, and we're actually going to discard that card. We don't want it. So we can just start hitting him in the face a lot. So I'm thinking is what we're probably going to do. We're going to spend... I'm actually going to spend Sense of Justice to get a web shooter out. We're not going to be able to do attack acrobatics, which is a shame, but I'm going to... Is it a good idea to just attack? I think it is. We're doing all the damage. Oh no, it takes... That's the attacker... Well, attack has aerial trait, okay. Oh, actually, that's going to mess up her a little bit. So we're going to throw it for 2. I'm going to use 1, 2 to do a whip shot. So it's 4 damage to an enemy. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then stun. And 2 damage using his special. And we can do that because we now have the aerial trait. Okay. It is Gwen's turn next, but she's not doing anything on her turn, so we're just going to ready up. Okay, so we do have some threat removal. We've got an encounter card here. Okay. 1, 2. He's done against Miles. He's attacking here. We're going to defend for Gwen. We're going to use George to do not today. So we're defending for 5. He's attacking for 5, so we take no damage. And then we remove 2 threat from a scheme. 1, 2. We draw a card with that. It's a defense event, so we deal the damage. Takes from each attack. It's not an attack, so we're good. And that's going to remove the threat from the main. And then because we did the interrupt, he gets already. Then it's some cat cards. So we've got 1, 2. Yeah, sorry. 1, 2, 3. And we'll have another one here as well because we've got 2 hazard icons. So quick strike for 2. Do I care? Not really. Discard cards until you discard an ally, basically. Which I don't think we have any. We do not. But we still place an acceleration token here. And each nemesis minion in play activates against you. If you cannot, place 3 counters on super and passed. So 3 or more counters here, more than the number of players, which there is. Remove each counter and flip this card over. It's basically Shadows of the Past. So we get, what was I saying? If you're an alter ego, we're not. If you're an alter ego, we're not. And these get shuffled in. Okay. Quick strike. I'm tempted to do that, but it would make us discard one of these randomly, which wouldn't be great. But I think it's probably worth it. So it's going to kill one of them, and we discard a random card. Okay, that's the better of the 2. We draw 1 card. I think that's the order that will work. Surge and stun. So let's go off first. Attach the menu with the most any hit points. Is this one? Draw, steady, and vulnerable. Defeated. Okay, so we kind of want to stun these. A lot of like vulnerable keyword in this, which is pretty cool. Okay, so it's Gwen first. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get down unflappable. And we're going to figure out what to do with the rest. Okay, so Miles is going to be able to take out at least one of these schemes. We're going to attack to get rid of stunned. That's it for Ghost Spider's turn. So we're going to do on 2 in order to do web shot. So I'm going to deal 4 damage to an enemy. And then we can trigger his deal 2 damage. We're still at aerial, so we're going to deal the 2 damage and stun him. He should be first player. Yeah. I spend 1, 2 to do swinging. Yeah, I probably did that in the wrong order, but never mind. Remove 4 threat from a scheme. I'm just going to get rid of this. And then we get to resolve his spider camouflage, so we get to confuse an enemy. We're going to confuse Vulture. Then we're going to take out Prowler. And, oh, actually, we're not going to confuse him. We're going to confuse Fisk's helicopter over steady, which is a bit of a pain, but yeah, instead we're going to confuse Vulturian, which will discard them so we don't have to do the when defeated. And that's it. We're going to ready, we're going to ready. We're going to do 5 here, 5 here. One, 2, 3, 4 because of these two. He's stunned against miles, so he's attacking Ghost Spider here. We're going to defend with Not Today, which is going to draw us a card because we're playing defensive energy. Going to ready. So we're defending for 5. He's doing 4, so we get to remove 2 threat from a scheme. I think we're actually going to do it from the main. Yeah. We do get to draw a card from Web Placer and from Impermeable, and remove 1 threat and deal the damage. Okay. Then we're going to defend against Fisk's helicopter. We use Ticket to the Multiverse to Phantom Flip, which means we get to remove 5 threat from a scheme. We're just going to get rid of tracking play. And then it's in card cards. No, sorry, we get to do this and draw another card. Then it's in card cards. So 1, 2, 3. Power attacks to play with fewest remaining hit points. You can't. So we're gaining Surge. Dark Designs, place 1 counter on pursued by past. Defend schemes. So 1, and we're going to put another counter on here. So up to 10. And let's gain Surge. Reveal what each places a random card from the hand here. And then she gets the same. Okay. And attach the Vulture and place 2 pigeon counters on the main scheme. Okay, we are getting some more pigeon counters, which is a bit more of a problem. So again, steady, which isn't great. After you attack and damage Vulture, spend an energy resource and discard the goggles. Okay. It is Gwen's turn first. You can't really do anything unfortunately on this turn. I'm actually half tempted to just keep her hand. I think we'll get rid of... Get rid of a repost. Okay. Over here. We're going to 1, 2 to swing in. Remove 4 threat from a scheme. Remove it from here. There's no allies under there, but it's fine. We used the web shooter so we could do the ability. So we confuse and we get a tough. Which I don't know if we actually gave ourselves a tough last time, but we should have done. We are then going to fort the main just to get rid of 3 of the counters. And yeah, it's a little bit overkill, but we're going to use acrobatics to do essentially 5 damage to Vulture, taking them down to 12. And then we're going to use the web shooter to get rid of this. And we're going to ready, and ready. One, 2, 3, we go to this. He's attacking over here, right. Defensive energy is going to... I'm going to spend these 2 to do powerful punch, which will deal 4 damage to the enemy, and draws a card from whatever card it is, defensive energy, which will draw a card from web bracelet. Then we're going to defend. He's attacking for 3. You can cancel the whatever the boost icons are, which we will. So we're going to use preemptive strike, cancel the boost icons, and deal 2 damage back. 1, 2. We'll draw a card here. We defended fully, so we get to draw a card. We also get to ready using her ability. We get to hold to ignore. And we get to flow like water, because we played a defense event. Okay, then they're going to attack here. We're going to defend. So we're going to use... Does mean we'll be able to put out a punch. We're actually going to use not today instead, so we can hopefully play out some punch. So we take no damage, but we get to remove 2 threat from a scheme. And some cat cards. Now we get an acceleration token. Place counter on pursued by past. He's confused, so he is just confused. There's also scenario cards you can draw. I mean, if we cancel that, we know it's a treachery. So if that's a minion or something, then we're wasting it. I think we are just going to cancel it. So we're going to cancel that and deal 2 damage here. Wish I'd done it to that. Adult Superhumans, wherever it is. And then we're going to discard until we get one, like, yeah. Okay, we can get Professor X. Any base threat, 1, 2, 3. And an acceleration token. Okay, so that is first stage done. Okay, then I think we're just going to go. So we're going to go here and go 1, 2 to web shot. 4 damage. We get to deal 2 damage and stun here, I suppose. But yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm not completely going blind into this one. I think I've seen Havoc play it a couple of times, so it gave me a decent idea of what was coming. But yeah, so let's go over the scenario. And then we'll go from there. So let me get a few of the cards out. This is the assign bit where I sit here and get all the cards out and walk these stand there in silence. First thing I'll say is the art is pretty great, especially like the pigeon cards. They're awesome, as ridiculous as they are. But so there's a few minions now. Okay, so I'll start off with positives. It's probably the best thing to do, because I think there are some, I'll say one major downside to this scenario, but we didn't really see it that much. But I'll go over that in a second. Yeah, one thing I did not get. Oh yeah, we'll go with positive first. Every card, actually encounter card in the set, I think is really good. Like the actual individual cards. As generic as that sounds, are really good. I'm going to leave that one aside for a second. Like this is great. There's a lot of harking back to Spider-Man's Nemesis set, with the fact that Vulture is all about discarding your cards, tucking cards underneath his side scheme in that Nemesis set. And there's a few instances of that here. So there's Highway Robbery, which I think is a exact copy of the Nemesis set side scheme, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, if there's already a Vulture in it, you might as well use it as a guide. Yeah, and then you've got Vulture's plans that ties into that as well, which is pretty cool. Yeah, the fact that it affects everybody isn't too bad, but yeah, it definitely can derail some plans, which is great, and force you to use the interrupt, possibly. I mean, we did, but I can see most of the time you probably wouldn't for one card. Not sure. You might not. So his attachments. Area advantage. I actually think it's a detriment to it having these both out to start the game. Means you don't really see them throughout the game, which means your first two attacks you're just kind of doing nothing to him, which is kind of a problem with the whole scenario, but I'll go over that in a second. But yeah, I do actually really like this. It's more the defensive kind of card that you'd see in Rhino, where it's like do so much damage, or I think everyone has one, where it's just once you hit him it goes, it soaks all the damage, and then you put a pigeon counter on the main scheme. Yeah, it works, but I'll come back to that one as well. I'm going to group a few of them together because I think a few of them kind of match together, which are pretty important. Sweeping Swoop, yeah, it's a stun your hero. I'm not really going to go over that. This one's great. Gets your pigeon counters on the main scheme. There aren't a lot of ways to get pigeon counters on the main scheme other than the random discard, but there's only a couple of random discards too. So when it does turn up, it's pretty cool. So the pigeon counters on here and the pigeon counters on here. So yeah, and him giving steady is pretty great. I mean, we were just gonna stun him continuously throughout the whole game, and we kind of did, but we had to get rid of this, and it did make a difference. Pressing ranged, yeah, makes complete thematic sense, and that extra attack is pretty helpful, because he's not the meanest scenario, so one extra attack does make a difference. Side schemes, just damage each aerial character. This is a weird card. The only way you attack Vulture is if you have the aerial trait, or the attack has the aerial trait, or the attack has range. The only time this affects you is if you're attacking in the burn phase. So this is purely a side scheme that punishes protection. I don't think it punishes anything else. So it's just a protection punisher with a hazard icon, which is a bit strange. I don't really get why that's in there. It just feels a bit on top of that already existing. You're just piling it on top of the same thing. So I don't fully get this card. It just seems a bit once again kind of thing. Characters with the aerial trait remove one additional threat. That's, I do like this one, where it's prioritising if you've got the aerial trait, you are better at it, rather than punishing people who doesn't have the aerial trait. Searching can take and discard pile. First helicopter minion and reveal it. Yep, pretty nasty side scheme ready, but pretty easy to get rid of, especially if you have the aerial trait. Fisk helicopter. In general, I quite like the minions of this module. Bringing in vulnerable. I like vulnerable as a keyword. It's a pretty cool keyword. It's one that's not really used that often, especially in the custom community, as far as I can tell. But it's a really interesting one to play about with. These are pretty nasty effects that, once again, this one can trigger your pigeons coming back out. So I suppose that's another way the pigeons can come out through the random discard, if you wanted to. But a lot of the time, because it's a minion, you probably could just do it as the last card you play to kill the minion or something. Or make sure your hand's empty when you get rid of it, or whatever. When the engaged player gets rid of it. Yeah, so this one's a bit nastier though. You got to choose. So if you didn't have 2 resources, you'd have to choose to place 2 threat on a scheme, and the 2 indirect damage. So this one's a lot more nasty. Oh, it's got patrol. I think I missed a patrol on here, so that definitely would have changed a few things. Yeah, I missed a patrol on there completely. So I took a lot of threat off of here, so that might have lost us the game. And then falling is the last one. I really like the border break on this. It looks really cool, especially like the webs trying to attach to something but failing. But yeah, pretty nasty card, which is trying to get you to exhaust the wingsuit so you can't do anything on your turn. Essentially, if you're not an aerial character. The others are really rough. You could use the pigeons to discard less cards, which is where the pigeons come in. I'm starting to see where it could come in, but it was just never a thing that we worried about with the pigeons. But yeah, so pretty nasty options, forcing you to exhaust the wingsuit really, if you can. But yeah, I like a lot of these cards. There is what I would say is, where'd it go? Ah yes, it's this card, and kind of this card as well. But honestly, Vulture, it's Vulture himself, which is kind of the issue, I think. This kind of can just lead to nothing turns. So, I mean, the first turn that we had, Miles just had to stand up and do nothing. He set up and then he can't exhaust to attack Vulture because there's no way for him to get aerial. Which means anyone who's a basic attack hero just basically will never really be able to attack Vulture unless they have the aerial trait somehow, which, you know, let's have a few of the heroes. So you've got like Hulk. Hulk is probably not the perfect example, but he is an example which would have a really bad time, because his big events are, that one's okay, that one's okay. Hulk Smash, when you make a basic attack, he can't play Hulk Smash unless it's against a minion. That's okay. ready hook so that he can do his basic attack. But he can't do his basic attack. Yeah. So hook's not a good example though, because hooks are a little bit rough anyway. But someone like Drax has actually got it even worse. Drax, or who else is mainly basic attack? Now that I'm thinking about it, I can't think of anyone, but I know there is more. X-23. Yeah, I don't own everyone here, so Quicksilver. Okay, I think possibly Tiger. I don't know much about Tiger. But these are a few examples that would just be completely shut down and be able to just not do their play at all. I mean, if you could find a Quicksilver deck that is able to take on Vulture and still feel good to play, like feel like you're playing Quicksilver, I think is the problem. Without getting this random attachment, which was very welcomed here because it meant Miles could actually do something. But yeah, it feels weird that this can't affect your basic attacks, even if it was like spend a resource to attach to a character, attach character against area until the end of the round or something like that. Yeah, because then if an ally comes in, you could spend a resource to attach it to the ally, and then it's the ally is holding on to the wingsuit, he's wearing the wingsuit, he's got aerial. But otherwise, and these are the ones that I can think of. I'm sure there's more. I'm sure there is, but I'm blanking right now. But I don't think there's actually a way for Drax to damage on here. Yeah, he could payback. Yeah, so he has payback, so that would be the only real way, apart from this overkill, I suppose. But he'd have to have a minion out just to be able to attack and defeat the villain. So he'd be waiting to get the right card rather than just like making decisions. Now you just sat there waiting for something to happen, to come up in your deck, so that you can actually do something. And potentially waiting for a minion to come out of the encounter deck as well. X-23. I'm pretty sure X-23 doesn't have any form of overkill or payback type cards either. So she might even be a better one to look at. But yeah, this is where the problem comes in, I think. Because if I took Drax and X-23 or even Quicksilver and X-23 versus this scenario, I think I'd be sitting around. It's taking its time. And one of the main reasons we were able to get through as far as we did was because we had a Ghost Spider in protection, where she was able to just pump out damage in the villain turn. Which is cool to kind of reward that. But I wish this was something like, oh, maybe it deals 2 less damage or something. Rather than just, they can't be attacked at all. Because as it stands, it literally locks heroes out of it. You have to attack. Yeah, so there's not a single card in X-23's kit that could deal damage to Vulture. apart from the retaliate. Puncture wound technically could, if you found an attack, if you had an attack event in your hand at the same time as having puncture wound from your aspect. But other than that, there is no way she could ever deal damage to Vulture. So the only way she can deal damage to Vulture is through her aspect cards, which isn't, yeah. And I think that is a problem. There's a lot of cool things in the set, but I think fundamentally this is a problem. I don't think this is enough of a fix to make it go away. Thematically, really cool idea to mess around with a trait like this. But if we took X23 against that, she just wouldn't be able to do anything. Which I think is fundamentally means this is kind of a broken scenario. Which is a real shame because the rest of it is fine. But because of that. So my suggestion would be to make a change to the wingsuit so it's more similar to this. And you have to spend a resource to attach it to yourself or something. Not sure exactly what you do with it, but some sort of way. Maybe there's a side scheme to get the wingsuit or something. And if you're an aerial character, you don't really care about that, so you can leave the side scheme. And then it just gives you a permanent aerial trait. Or even that you can get this, but it's not quite as harsh as a hazard symbol. Something like that. Because currently she can't do anything. Is Tiger the same? I don't know much about Tiger. Okay, so Tiger does have some ways that she would be able to damage him. So Tooth and Claw could technically do 4 damage, and 4 damage to Vulture. And she has 3 of those events, so she could do some damage to him. Quicksilver, I don't think he can, because I don't think he has any attack event. Oh no, he has 1 attack event, doesn't he? He has double time, so he could use double time. So in a whole deck cycle, just from hero cards, he could do 8 damage to the villain. So yeah, I had fun with it. I will say that I had fun with the scenario. It was an interesting scenario, but I think if I hadn't got this on Miles, if I was just playing Miles, I wouldn't have had a good time. Ghost Spider really likes this scenario though. Being able to do all the protection stuff feels really good. So I think this can work, just needs a bit of tweaking, in my opinion. But yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there because I think I've hopped on a little bit too long there. But yeah, thanks for watching.